Awesome.
All right, we're up to shooting guard. Here are our top three recommendation picks in NBA fantasy for shooting guards here that we think you should focus on and target if you can. And you've mentioned this guy before already. We spoke about him a little bit earlier today. Josh Giddey.
Are you going him
Man,
number one?
I've got
Really?
him
Like
as.
if you have the first pick?
I think Josh Giddey is a great pick at somewhere in the mid stages. Of the draft. Look, it's funny, firstly, that he's rated as a shooting guard. He's actually SGSF, right?
Yeah,
I thought his whole life he was a point guard. He should at
point
least
guard.
be point guard SGSF, yeah? But he's a shooting guard right now. That's what he's classified as. But he has the potential to probably go in now with the Bulls, obviously, to go something like 18, 8 and 8. Maybe that's not that crazy, okay? Especially as a young player here at the Bulls that are sort of not going anywhere in any real direction. His percentages continue need to improve. That's a whole area of his game that has not really come along that well so far. Look, at the end of the day, though, a player that in the mid rounds that can get you 8 and 8 and 8 as a point guard, I think is always a win, man. So I've got him on my list here. My second shooting guard I have is a shooting guard for the Lakers, man, Austin Reeves. I've been trying to trade for this kid. I'm not sure who's got him in our fantasy league, but I've been trying to, entice that, some pieces here to try and swing for him. I understand if you don't want to give him up right now because I like him, man. I think again as this team ages with LeBron and AD injury issues and LeBron getting older, inevitably gonna miss some games here and there, even just for rest. Those are the ideal opportunities where Austin Reeves breaks out and has a good game. Okay, so I think he even last season he had a real solid year, what 16 or I think it was about 16 5 and 5 give or take, and he shoots reasonable percentages too, so that's a good spot for him from that perspective as a guard in that sort of sense. So Austin Reeves, I like that kid. If someone wants to trade him to me, I'll definitely take him. My last shooting guard here is a player that I actually went and man, he'll sit on the free agency pile for like 2 weeks or whatever or for a week now, I guess that I was staring at, and then I was like, damn it, I just have to swing for him. So I picked up Colin Sexton. Yeah, I picked up
Yep.
Colin Sexton. I really like this guy, and we're talking about a late 10th, 11th, 12th round pick. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying draft him round one, okay, by all means, but Utah again are like they're like the Hawks, maybe it's a similar case of the West, right? They want to be competitive. They've held on to Laurie Markkinen. The fan base needs to get some W's right, otherwise no one's going to come to the games. Okay, and Colin Sexton is the old head there from the point guard perspective, point guard shooting guard perspective. Yeah, he's eligible for both positions, which is a win in the bonus in itself, right? So, and last season, yeah, he basically put up nearly 20 and 6, I think, in that sort of sense. His percentages are pretty well. He does a lot of little things there. He doesn't hurt you in some categories. I think guards often hurt you in percentages. Yeah, I think many guards, especially shooting guards, hurt you in percentages. So when you got a shooting guard that shoots over, like say 48%, that's a good sort of area to fall within. And I think he'll continue to be a featured player, especially with Utah coming out the gate. So I want to try and stay in that middle of the pack race sort of thing. I really like Colin Sexton. I think he's a kid that you grab and fantasy, especially with the last sort of picks that you have on your draft.
All right. Yeah, nice list. I guess I'm probably carving out a role here that these tutorials follow my advice if you want to actually get a good first round pick. You're definitely trying to be a little bit more. You're like the hipster right now of your department. I'm going for the conventional route. You're going the hipster route, but I love it. It's cool. Um, the number one SG that you should grab if you have the first pick is Anthony Edwards. So Ant Edwards last season, 26
Ooh.
points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.5 blocks. You know, I love my stocks. Can have high turnovers, but he's about to get his own team. So Cat was clearly number two to him, but now Julius Randle comes in as number two. That divide becomes bigger. Ant Edwards is a year older after almost a finals run there. He's poised to take off, and he has high potential, and he already has a really solid floor. And he's young and he's going to play. I always think that's a safe bet. My second shooting guard that I would get, let's assume you're now round five, I'd go Derek White. So Derek White plays on the stacked Celtics, but deceptive stats. Last season had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1.2 blocks. There's not many players that have one of both, and he does. And that's stocks. And I love my stocks. And he doesn't have a lot of
Did you
turnovers as
draft
well.
Derek White?
I should have. I should have. I actually did consider it. What did he go for in our league? I'm just checking right now. He went for $19, but it must have been in the end, and I couldn't afford it. And then you obviously have to make a choice. It's round 10. There's not a lot left. Who do you grab? I'm going to go for a wild card here. I'm going to go for Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas, if you're not aware, can go off for 40 to 50 points. And if you're drafting late in the draft, you'd be thinking, how can I get a guy that can go for 40 points? Cam Thomas has 2 turnovers, has okay shooting, and doesn't really give you anything else. Not really going to give you more than 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and less than a steal and less than a block. But it's the points. And for a guy that late in the draft, it's points that are pretty good. And also, Brooklyn is different than they were a season ago. Brooklyn last season was doing this whole, let's see how we go with all these like wing players and see if we can be any good. They found out they couldn't, and they traded away Mikal Bridges, and now they're clearly about to go to the bottom. And someone like Cam Thomas, he is going to be a good stats, bad team guy, and he will probably still be there late in the draft. So that's who I'd recommend.
I like it. I like it. Cam Thomas definitely drops a lot of buckets when he gets the ball in his hands, man. I don't know if you can live with the percentages, like we spoke about
That's
earlier.
going to be the thing. Yeah.
If you live with the percentages and you want the points from a shooting guard's perspective, because shooting guards are supposed to score, right? Isn't that what they're on the floor for? Then he's definitely a player you could definitely target in the late rounds, man.